Aloha mai kākou and ahoa makamaka o ka olelo Hawai'i. Welcome to Kulāiwi. This is the 22nd Hawaiian language class in a series of 24 Hawaiian language classes. Oau o e kelakani aupi o Crozier a oau ki kumu no keia papa olelo Hawai'i. Lava kavala'o. Okay, let's take a look at our vignette. Sit back, relax, enjoy, nenea, and I'll see you as soon as it's spelled. Ahui ho.
E, kalama.
Eo.
Aheo ana ke Jay.
Ua here oia ki I ke kopala oho. Whehea oe.
Ma luhi loa wau.
No ke aha. Ua paina oe ko mone.
Ole, wa ho paa avina wau I ka pone. Nui ko upilikia I ka papa ake aka mai.
Koko au ia oe. Pu, nui ko upilikia pui ke la papa. Whehea, e oki ana o ana ke Jay di ko rau oho.
Ai.
No ke aha mai. Ole lo ihi loa ko rau oho.
Ole lo ihi loa ka pono wau e oki. No ka mea e hele rana maua o kau'i. Me le ohu lau o malulani I ka hale aina me ko kau'i mahua kane.
Oia. E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea.
Ni ele. Hele ana mako I ka hale aina o Andrews.
Hui, mā koukou.
E, aloha ia ana ke.
Malaila, pehe o kau'i.
Mai ka I oia. E ho o makana kanahana I ka la apopo.
E hanano oia mahea.
Anano oia ma ke kula nui. Ale mai ka I ka uku a ka make oia e kokua I ke la ke ena.
Ke ena hea.
O ke ia ke ena kokua I na haumana Hawai'i. Pehea oe, e hanano oe.
Ke hana ne au I ke ia manawa.
Oia ka, he haka o ana.
Ho mae au. Ke ia wahi.
Oia, ka laki no oe. Oia ke kumu, o mana o wau e oki ana oe ko lauoho I ke ia kakaiaka.
Ole, make o ana ke oki. Ole lo mai oia ine. Puka kau lau oho. Ka iki au, lili wale no oia.
Ole pa. Aka wale no.
Kuna ne. I ke ia maka iki ae, e la vai ana mako ma aleka.
Me vai?
Ke noho nei ka hoaloha o ko'u mama ma o. No leila, e hele ana au me ko'u ohana. E hele mai me mako.
Au nui loa ke kala.
Ole pirikia, no ka mea ua iki au I ko kau I lei vuvuni I hao. E malama ho oi kau kala.
Ale hiki paha.
No ke aha?
No ka mea, make ko ututu e lawe a mako I Tahiti ke ia make hia e. Ua lohe wau, ano pipi I nā mea ma ke lawahi.
He ohana ko ma Tahiti?
Ai, he Tahiti ko ututu. No leila, ano nui ko na ohana ma leila.
Pehea o tutu.
Mai ka I no, o mai ka I au he tutu o pio ko.
Pono oe lawe mai ko tutu I ke ia wahi mamu o ka huakai.
Ai, hele mai ana oia I ke ia pulea e no ka pena miki au. Ai, ana ke?
Ai.
E kala mai, pono au e ho'o mai ka lua.
Ai, hiki no e ke kanaka paahana.
You know, who kunane? His hair would be so clean, yeah? He was there long enough washing his hair. You know, that's probably one of my most favorite vignettes because it's so real, you know. Your hair get washed and washed and washed. Did you get the idea? Did you understand what was being said there? Well, let's go through it and see how much we got. New words, okay? You may have heard the word aleka. Aleka, meaning Alaska. Inana kako. Aleka. Hikino? A-la-e-ke-a. Aleka, for Alaska. Kauku. Kauku, okay? Ka'uku, now you see the one with the okina? This is the one about, fleas, lice, that kind of stuff. That's the one with the okina. Okay, so I wanted to make sure we're real clear on this, that they were not talking about, ukus like in fleas or lice. They were talking about the next one, which is ka'uku. You hear the difference? Ka'uku with an okina, ka'uku, yeah, which means the payment or, in this case, that's all you need to know, that it means the payment, okay, or the pay. So, like somebody says, oh, how's the pay? Yeah, how's your pay that you get? Pehea ka'uku, yeah, pehea ka'uku. Not pehea ka'uku, because then you'd be asking how's the lice, okay? So you have to be real careful what you're saying. Okay, next word, keke'ena, okay? In this case, the office. Okay, the office, ke'ena. Okay. It also means the apartment. Sometimes people can say ke'ena hale, ke'ena noho, okay, for the apartment. But that's not what it means today. Today we're using it to refer to the office. Okay, next word, ke kopa lauoho. I think Kalama says, oh, well, hele o anake Jade e ki'i I ke kopa lauoho. Yeah, she went to what? Ki'i to fetch ke kopa lauoho, shampoo. Okay, shampoo. How you get shampoo out of kopa lauoho? Well, kopa meaning soap and lauoho meaning hair. Yeah, easy. Lauoho. Can you say that with me? Lauoho. Mai ka'i. Okay, ke kopa lauoho shampoo. Lauoho, well, now we got that. Lauoho meaning, hair, mai kai, okay. You're paying attention to the first part, okay. Next word, lavai'a, and I'm sure you've heard the Hawaiian group who plays music, and they're called lavai'a, yeah. Means to fish or fisherman. I was going to say fisher person, but yeah, fisher person, sounds weird, yeah. Fisherman to fish, either one, okay, the noun or the verb. Okay, last word, oki to cut. Hikino, oki to cut. Okay, so as we got all these words down and you're clear on them, that's mai ka'i. Okay, let's go on to the first pattern that we're looking at, okay? And that's, as you saw, make oya e ki'i. I talked about that earlier when we first started, that we're going to look at using that little word e, okay? I know that you've heard of a lot of different uses of e since Kulāiwi started. We had the when we use e in front of names, when we're calling somebody, yeah, like e kimo. Yeah, e kimo. And when everybody thought you were speaking Pidgin, actually you were really speaking Hawaiian, yeah. Aloha e kimo, yeah, or e ku'ulei, yeah. That e is called, for the sake of grammar, a vocative e, okay? Be careful, all right? But that e is to call attention, okay? You're calling someone's attention. So if I wanted to say, well, in English we say, hey, hey, Lani, okay? In Hawaii you say, eh, Lani. Okay, you get the idea. Anyway, we learned the A with the name. We also learned A in front of an action, being a command or telling somebody to do something. We learned that A in front of an action can also mean a suggestion, okay? Like, eheleo, I'll go. Ehele oi, you go. Okay, so you see how that A in front of the action has that kind of mana'o when it starts off the sentence. Ikino? Okay, and then we had the A that went with A action ana that took us into the future tense. But now we're seeing another A. And actually, this shouldn't be new to you. This is something we've had before. But what we're going to see today is the use of this A in another pattern, okay, with different words. Basically, that's what it comes down to, okay? So let's take a look. Inana kako. Make oya e ki'i, okay? She wants to what? To fetch, to get, okay? Make oya e ki'i. Ua hele oya e ki'i iki kopalau woho. This is the example I gave to you when we're looking at the word kopalau woho, okay? Let's not look let's stop right after oya. Let's just look at that part. Ua hele oya, real simple action sentence, okay? But because we see the ua in the front, because we're saying ua, that means we're putting it when. In what tense? Past tense. Action is completed. It's po. So it's not he is going, he goes, but he went or she went, okay? Now some of you may ask, well, how do you know when oya is he and when it's she? Context, my dear. Context, okay? It's just listening to the situation and what's going on, and then it's easy to figure out who's oya, okay? In this case, Kunane asks Kalama, Aya mahea o anake Jade? Aya mahea o anake Jade? Where's Auntie Jade? And Kalama replies, Ua hele oya e ki'i ike kopala woho. So she went what? Here we're going to bring in the next action. She went to fetch, to pick up what? Shampoo. She went to go get shampoo. Okay? Just take a look at this a little while so that you can get clear on it. Ua hele oya e ki'i ike kopala woho. Okay? Another example, this is not in the vignette, but an example of using this e holo holo ana la ko e he nalu ma kaua'i. E holo holo ana la ko e he nalu ma kaua'i. Let's say that together. E holo holo ana la ko e he nalu ma kaua'i. Okay. Now, what I always think is really important that you see there's always pieces in a sentence. Okay. It's not like you look at a sentence and you feel like, oh my God, I have to say like the whole thing one time. Okay. No, you don't have to say the whole thing one time. Break it up into pieces. Okay. In this case, let's start off with the first part. E holo holo ana la ko. And what does that say? They are going to travel. Okay. Or they are going to cruise. For what? To surf. E enalu ma kaua'i, on kaua'i. Okay? Remember that little ma? Ma is on or at. Yeah? Cool word. Easy to remember. Ma. Okay? So let's start again. E holo holo ana la ko. Who's la ko? Have you been practicing your pronouns? La ko meaning all of them. All of them. Okay? E holo holo ana la ko. To what? E enalu ma kaua'i. Ikido? Says Maikai. It's just a matter of seeing this, and that's what's more important than anything else is to be able to see the sentence, not to try to translate it into English, but to see it. Can you see that? E holo holo ana la ko, yeah. E henalu ma kaua'i. Okay, kai, hikido. Hopefully you get the idea. What's really important is that we've used this little a inside with makimake all the time, you know, like makimake lako e hele, makimake oya e ai, makimake mako e noho, all right? And we've seen it used with makimake, but what we haven't seen is a use of it with another action, and that's what you need to practice. Okay, next, let's take a look at time phrases, okay? Most of this is review because we've seen them before, but okay, we're going to do it one more time. Let's take a look. Inana kako. Ua ho'opa'aha avinau I ka pōnei. Ua ho'opa'aha avinau I ka pōnei. Okay, so let's once again just look up to the subject part. Okay, I what? Ho'opa'aha avina. I studied I ka pōnei. Yeah, I think Kalama asks Kunane, oh, you know what you was potting last night, what you was doing last night, because he looks so tired. And Kunane says, oh, ho'opa'aha avinau I ka pōnei. You know, Kunane is a champion of all young Hawaiian men, you know, that he wasn't out partying, he wasn't doing any of that, he was studying. Okay, so, ua ho'opa'aha avinau, and the part that you need to remember is last night, I ka pōnei. Okay, I ka pōnei. Okay, just checking if you sing it, if you got it. Maikai, there we have it, I ka pōnei. Okay, let's take a look at another. Ua olelo oya inehine. Ua olelo oya inehine. Inehine, yesterday. Yesterday. So in this case, once again, the action is po, the action is past completed. She spoke yesterday. Ua olelo oya inehine. Okay? What if you want to say, you know, And you cannot say, e olelo ana oia inehine. Okay, why? Because e action ana is the future tense. Yeah. So see, that's how we catch people when they don't really know, their tenses. And you just use any kind, I use an ua today and I use an a action ana now, and you have to know which one is for which. Yeah. So if you're talking about inehine, well, obviously the action is ua. It's past. Ua heleau inehine. I went yesterday. But if I'm going to say, he's going to start work, she's going to start work tomorrow. She's going to start work tomorrow. The action is what? Ho'omaka, maikai. So let's take a look if you got that right. E ho'omaka ana oia ikahana. E ho'omaka ana oia ikahana. Do you see that? This action is taking place in the future, so it's encased by e action ana. Okay, e ana. And ikala apopo. E ho'omaka ana oia ikahana ikala apopo. E ho'omaka ana oia ikahana ikala apopo. I think Kalama asks Kunane, how's Kau'i? And Kunane responds by saying, E ho'omaka ana oia ikahana ikala apopo. She's going to start what? Work tomorrow. Ikala apopo. Okay. Now, some of you may have seen this part as ikela apopo if you read some books. When in Kulāiwi land, do as Kulāiwi does, okay? Use ikala apopo for tomorrow, okay? What if we want to say next year? We heard him say, Ikeia makahikiae. Ikeia makahikiae. Okay? What's the key word? Makahiki. Year. But you put ae in the back of it and you have next year, okay? This next year. Ikeia makahikiae. Elavai'a namako ma'aleka. And you see, once again, we're using e action ana. Not ua, not ke action ne, right? Because you cannot say, next year we went to surf, we went to Kulāiwi, we went to fish at Alaska. Cannot, olihiki, okay? You have to say, we will go, we will fish at Alaska, okay? Alrighty. Ikeia makahikiae. Ikeia makahikiae. Makibaki ku'ututu, and I think Kunane finishes by saying, Makibaki ku'ututu, ehele I Tahiti. Ehele I Tahiti, to go to Tahiti, okay? And once again, we're seeing next year, Ikeia makahikiae. If we wanted to say next month, Ikeia mahina ae, yeah? If we wanted to say next week, Ikeia pule ae. Okay, so you see how it's just a matter of substituting makahiki, makahiki meaning year. So if you say next year, well, it's ikeia makahikiae. But if you want to say next week, ikeia puleae. Next Sunday, ikeia la puleae. Okay, next week. What if I want to say she's coming here next week? Okay, here is ma'anei. So. E hele maiana oia ma'anei I keia puleae in ana kako. Hikino. E hele maiana oia I anei I keia puleae. Okay, we use I anei in here, to here. Anei, here. Okay. E hele maiana oia I anei I keia puleae. You see the use of pule instead of makahiki, meaning next week. Okay, this lines, leave this little while so you can check this out. Okay, you want to tell somebody, come here, hele mai oi ma'anei or I anei. Remember that ma and I are pretty interchangeable, except that I has a sense of action or movement, where ma has more of a sense of being stable and not moving. Okay, more stability. Okay, hikino. Onward with time phrases. Ke hana ne iau I keia manava. Ke hana ne iau I keia manava. Now we're seeing what's happening in this. I keia manava means at this time. Basically means now, okay, at this time. because we don't all talk like that, yeah? Okay, I'm going now at this time, okay? We say, I'm going now, okay? So, anyway, this is how we would say it in Hawaiian. It translates to at this time, but it really means now. But look at the tense markers that we're using when we use this time phrase. Ke action ne. Why? Because ke ne gives us the present tense. Yeah? We put this around our action and we put ourselves into the present tense. Ke hana ne yau ikeia manava. Ke hana ne yau ikeia manava. Okay? A little practice, just in case you're wondering. What if I wanted to say, I am going tonight. I am going tonight. Okay? And this is like morning time. Somebody says, oh, when are you going to the store? Oh, I'm going to go tonight. What tense markers are we going to use? You got 3 choices, okay? Ua, action, ke, action, ne, or e, action, ana. Which one are you going to choose? If I were you, I would choose e, action, ana, okay? Only because that puts us into the future tense. So, e, hele, ana, hu, au, when, tonight, ike, po. This night, right? Tonight, okay? See, it's so easy. Hawaiian's so easy. It's just a matter of trying to remember everything, okay? All right. To have plenty. Nui ko upilikia ika papa aki akamai. Nui ko upilikia ika papa aki akamai. Okay? I have plenty problems in science, okay? I have plenty problems in science. Now, some people use the word epikema for science, and some people use the word akiakamai. I like the word akiakamai. I think I just like the sound of it, and I like to use this word for science. Okay, so you might hear both, especially those of us who are involved in immersion programs. We hear them use epikema for science, but in this one we use akiakamai. Okay, but let's just take a look at the top part. Nui ko'upilikia. Nui ko'u pilikia. I have plenty, okay, pilikia in science. Okay, and Kalama says, o pu, nui ko'u pilikia. Nui ko'u pilikia I ke la papa. Okay, nui ko'u pilikia I ke la papa. I have plenty problems. What is that? Pu, too, in that class. Okay, I have plenty problems also in that class. So you see, it's just a matter of nui ko. What if you wanted to say, he has plenty problems in that class? Nui kona pilikia I ke la papa mai kai. So you're sitting there going, yeah, I got that one. Okay, this is a review because we've had this before. Ehele ana maua o kau'i. Okay, another way of saying me and somebody. Remember I told you that you want to tell who maua is, then you can bring in that other somebody by putting okina o. Ehele ana maua o kau'i. Okay. What if you wanted to say, me and Joe are going to eat? Okay, we'll be eating. E ai ana maua o Joe. There you go. Okay, real easy. Me and my friend. Okay. E hele ana maua o ko'u hoaloha. Okay. E hele ana maua o ko'u hoaloha. You see how you just bring in that second part? Me and my shadow. Okay. Maua o ku'u shadow. Okay, this is not hard. This is just a matter of remembering. If we can remember the pronoun maua for me and somebody, yeah, that's my kai, because that's basically half your problem there. Now it's a matter of telling who the other person is, who the other part of the maua is, and you bring them in with an okina o. Introducing Joe, okay? Maua o Joe. Hikino? My kai. Okay, here we have the use of laua. Okay, so this is actually a part of just a long sentence that Kunane says, and he's telling who's going to go to dinner. If you didn't get that part, they're going to go to dinner with Kau'i's father. Okay, and they're going to go to Andrew's, by the way. But these are the people who are going to go. So he says, "Ehele ana maua o Kau'i, me with I, le'ohu and Malulani." Okay, with Le'ohu and Malulani. Now, how do we get Le'ohu and Malulani together without just saying Le'ohu a o Malulani? Let's take a look. Nana kako. Me lei ohu laua o malulani. Okay, me lei ohu laua o malulani. Le ohu and malulani. Now you're sitting there going, laua is not and. I know that, okay? Laua is just the way we refer. We're able to bring in the two names. We link the two names like this, okay? But it also refers to them too, right? So this is how we bring the two together. Le ohu laua o malulani. Okay. Me ko kau'i ma kuakane. Now here we see a possessive with a name. You remember how we had ko ma ko, ko la ko, ko o ko, ko laua, ko kaua, like that? Well, now we have ko kau'i, okay? Ko kau'i. Kau'i's what? Father, yeah? So ko is actually acting like an apostrophe S, okay? Ko kau'i ma kuakane. So the whole thing, kamea po, e hele ana maua o kau'i, me le ohu laua o malulani, me ko kau'i ma kuakane. Okay? Leave this little while just for you to take a look so you can swallow it, okay? Or at least see the parts of it and see how it works, all right? E hele ana maua o kau'i, yeah, me and kau'i, me le ohu laua o malulani, me ko kau'i ma kuakane. Okay, you see. So how do we express that the other person, me and somebody else, with an okina o, maua o? How do we say so and so and so and so? We bring those two names with laua o, laua o. Okay, so if it was, Gladys and Ralph, okay, Gladys, Laua, or Ralph, okay. Why I picked those names, I have no idea, but they just came, okay. Ku'ulei and Nohea, Ku'ulei, Laua, or Nohea, okay. So you see, it's just a matter of bringing these two names together with Laua o. Why? Because Laua refers to them too, okay. So hopefully this has cleared up a little bit something. All right. This is just a review of asking to where, yeah? Remember that sometimes we don't really know how to say, where are you going? But what you can say is, you going where? Let's take a look. E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea, yeah? E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea. You know, if we were to take off this hea and the question mark, we would have, you guys are going to the restaurant, right? You guys are going to the restaurant. Well, as soon as we put the hair in, now we have, you guys going to what restaurant? What restaurant? You see how you just put hair on top of it, and you have what? And it's a little change in the inflection, yeah, the intonation. E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea. Hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea. You guys going to what restaurant? Yeah, you hear that? That pigeon question, same as Hawaiian. Yeah, e hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea. Okay. Response: E hele ana mākou I ka hale aina o Andrews. E hele ana mākou I ka hale aina o Andrews. You see how that here is replaced with the response, Andrews. Aye. E hele ana mākou I ka hale aina o Andrews. Now you can see how first it said, E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea. Ah. Hele ana mako I ka hale aina o Andrews. And you notice oko turns to mako, right? Because just like in English, you don't say, oh, you guys going what restaurant? And you go, oh, you guys going to Andrews. That's not the right answer. You'd say, we going. So that's the same thing happening here. Oko changes to mako. Okay, another question using here. E hana na oya mahea. E hana na oya mahea. Okay. Kalama asks, and she's going to work where? Mahea. Hana oya make kula nui. Hana oya make kula nui. Okay, she'll work where? Make kula nui. Another one of those hair questions. Ke ena hair. Ke ena hair. What office? What office? Okay, you could say make ke ena hair. Yeah, at what office? Is the response, o ke ia ke ke'ena kokua i na haumana Hawai'i. Now that part in green that you see is referring to the kind of ke'ena. So, just like how you have, if the sentence was, this is the red car, o keia ke ka'a ula ula. Well, this is saying, this is the office, okay? This is describing the office. Helps, kokua, you all know that word, right? Kokua helps. Ina haumana Hawai'i, helps with Hawaiian students, okay? So that's the office that Kau'i is going to work. So mai kai, okay, hopefully we got the idea and it cleared up a little bit. What I would like you to do is just kick back once again, relax, and just pay attention to those lines that we went over and get a better feel for what's going on. And hopefully you understand. So, lava kavala au, let's go check out our video and I'll see you as soon as it's po. Ahui ho.
E, kalama.
Eo.
Aheo ana ke Jay.
Ua hele oia ki I ke kopala oho. Whehea oe.
Mā luhi loa wau.
No ke aha. Ua paina oe ko mone.
Ole, wa ho'opa'a awina wau I ka pone. Nui ko upilikia I ka papa ake aka mai.
Koko au ia oe. Pu, nui ko upilikia pui ke la papa. Pehea, e oki ana o ana ke Jay di ko lau oho.
Ai.
No ke aha mai. Ole lo ihi loa ko lau oho.
Ole lo ihi loa ka pono wau e oki. No ka mea e hele rana maua o Kau'i. Me le ohu lau o malulani I ka hale aina me ko Kau'i mahua kane.
Oia. E hele ana o ko I ka hale aina hea.
Niele. Hele ana mako I ka hale aina o Andrews.
Hui, mākaukau.
E, aloha ia ana ke.
Malaila, pehe o Kau'i.
Mai ka I oia. E ho'omaka ana kanahana I ka lā apopo.
E hana no oia mahea.
Anana oia ma ke kula nui. Ale mai ka I ka uku a ka make oia e kokua I ke la ke ena.
Ke ena hea.
O ke ia ke ena kokua I na haumana Hawai'i. Pehea oe, e hana ana oe.
Ke hana ne au I ke ia manawa.
Oia ka, he haka o ana.
Ho mae au, ke ia wahi.
Oia, ka laki no oe. Oia ke kumu, o mana o wau e oki ana oe ko lauoho I ke ia kakaiaka.
Ole, make o ana ke oki. Ole lo mai oia ine. Pupu ka kau lau oho. Ka iki au, lili wale no oia.
Ole pa. Aka wale no.
Kuna ne. I ke ia maka iki ae, e la vai ana mako ma aleka.
Me vai?
Ke noho nei ka hoaloha o ko'u mama ma o. No leila, e hele ana au me ko'u ohana. E hele mai me mako.
Au nui loa ke kāla.
Ole pirikia, no ka mea, ua iki au I ko Kau'i lei vuvuni I hao. E malama ho oi, kau kala.
Ale hiki paha.
No ke aha.
No ka mea, make ko ututu e lawe a mako I Tahiti ke ia make hia e. Ua lohe wau, ano pipi'i nā mea ma ke lawahi.
He ohana ko ma Tahiti?
Ai, he Tahiti ko ututu. No leila, ano nui ko na ohana ma leila.
Pehea o tutu.
Mai ka ino, o mai ka I au he tutu o pio ko u.
Pono oi e lawe mai ko tutu I ke ia wahi mamu o ka huakai.
Ai, e hele mai ana oia I ke ia pulea e no ka pena miki au. Ai, ana ke?
Ai.
E kala mai, pono au e ho'o mai ka lua.
Ai, a hiki no e ke kanaka paahana.
Hiki no. Did you get the idea? Kalama is working there. Ke hana nei au I ke ia manawa. And Kunani kind of laughs at him like, really? And what do you do? And he says, what? Ho'oma'e wau I keia wahi. I cleaned this place, yeah? So, see, it's those kinds of things I think we pretty much got, but sometimes, you know, it just goes by you so fast. Once again, na kia kua e ho'opo mai ka ia o ko, and until lesson 23, malama pono, a hui ho kako, aloha.